It's Kingslayer Hoops, and welcome to my first 2K21 tutorial. Today we're going to be showing you how to do dunks and make layups. I'm going to keep this as short as possible, and I'm not going to stretch this out to 10 minutes like a lot of YouTubers do, so if you appreciate that, please like and subscribe. This is a beginner tutorial. I will be doing more advanced tutorials later in the year, but for right now, this is just for newbies at the game, alright? So let's start with layups. In order to perform a simple normal layup, what you're going to do is you're going to move towards the basket with the left stick, and you're going to hold the right stick up while driving. Now you need to hit the right stick while you're close to the basket. Keep that in mind, because if you don't do it while you're close to the basket, you're going to end up taking a jump shot and pulling up, which is very frustrating. So make sure that you are within close proximity to the basket. To perform a runner or a floater, you're going to move towards the basket with the left stick, but this time you're going to hold the right stick down. So you're holding the right stick away from the basket. To perform a reverse layup, so what you need to do is move to the baseline, where Kawhi Leonard is right here as the baseline, and it doesn't matter if it's the right side or the left side of the court. You're then going to move towards the basket, and you're going to hold your right stick towards that baseline area, towards that out of bounds area. What your guy is then going to do is make a layup underneath the basket on the opposite side where he is. And again, this is helpful for protecting the ball against rim protectors. Okay, now to perform a Euro step layup, what you're going to do is double tap square while driving, and you're going to hold the left stick toward the offhand, which means the hand that your ball is not in. Alternatively, you can move towards the basket and hold the right stick toward your offhand. Now to perform a cradle layup, which is essentially the safest form of a layup that you can do in this game, you're going to double tap square while driving towards the basket, and you're going to hold the L stick towards your ball hand. Alternatively, you can move towards the basket and hold the right stick towards your ball hand. Okay, so let's move on to dunking. Now to perform a two-hand dunk, what you're going to do is hold R2, which is your turbo button. You're going to move towards the basket, and you're going to hold the right stick up or towards the basket. And this is essentially the safest dunk that you can do if there's a defender around you. You are the least likely to get stripped or blocked if you do this dunk, but it's also not that pretty to look at, so that's why we have other options of dunks. To perform a dominant dunk, which means your dominant hand, what you're going to do is hold R2 or your turbo button. You're going to move towards the basket and then hold the right stick up and towards that direction. You can also dunk with your offhand, which means the hand you don't have the ball in, by holding the right stick up and towards that direction, so the opposite of whatever your ball hand is. These dunks are still pretty safe, but they're not as safe as your two-handed dunks that I showed you before. And then finally, we're going to go with the flashy dunk, which is the least safe dunk and easiest to get blocked, but it's the prettiest to look at. The way to do this is to hold R2 or your turbo button and hold the right stick down while driving to the basket. So you can see this is Kawhi Leonard, so he doesn't have the flashiest dunks in the world, but you get the idea. Another important mechanic to know when you're trying to drive or make a layup is the hop gather. This is to throw the defense off balance and make them think that you're going off for a shot. So what you're going to do is drive towards the basket, and then you're going to tap the square button with the left stick facing away from the basket. So right here, you can see that's what it looks like. You can also drive towards the basket and hold the right stick down left or down right. Now to me, that's the easier way to do it, but it totally depends on your own preference. And finally, instead of hopping, you can do a spin gather. And what you can do to do that is hold the turbo button and double tap square. That's actually the easiest way to do it. You can also rotate the right stick in a complete 360 if you want to do it that way, but to me, double tapping square is a little bit easier. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for today. If you appreciate me keeping this video as short as possible, like and subscribe. I'll be doing a lot of other beginner tutorials such as how to shoot, as well as advanced tutorials later in the year, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, happy gaming, y'all.